Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're looking to build a Linux gaming machine. That's awesome. You're in exactly the right place, because the first big decision you've got to make is picking the right operating system, or, as we call it in the Linux world, the right distro. Let's break down the absolute best choices you have right now.
Man, that quote just nails it, doesn't it? Thanks to some real game changers, especially Valve's Proton, which lets you run Windows games, Linux gaming has completely transformed. It's gone from this kind of clunky, frustrating hobby to a legit top-tier experience. So the question isn't if you can game on Linux anymore, it's just which way you want to do it.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll cover what actually makes a distro good for gaming. Then, we'll explore 3 different paths you can take: the set it and forget it stable path, the high-performance cutting-edge path, and the new console-style experience. And at the end, we'll figure out which one is the perfect pick for you.
Okay, before we get to the fun part and start naming names, let's just quickly lay down the basics. What exactly is a Linux distro, and what really separates a standard one from a real gaming powerhouse?
Think of it like this. The Linux kernel is the high-performance engine, but the distro, that's the whole car built around it. It's the chassis, the dashboard, the cool paint job, the whole shebang. It's the complete package that you actually drive. So here's the bottom line. A great gaming distro just does all the annoying work for you. It handles your graphics drivers, it tunes the system for performance, and has all the tools you need ready to go. It's all about spending way less time tinkering and way more time actually gaming.
All right, let's dive into our first path. This one is for anybody who just wants a system that works, plain and simple. No fuss, no muss. If you're switching over from Windows or you're new to Linux, this is absolutely where you should start. And leading the pack here is Pop! OS. It is a true fan favorite, and for a really good reason. Its killer feature: you can download a version that has the NVIDIA drivers already baked in. Seriously, this one little thing solves what is historically one of the biggest headaches for Linux gamers. You're up and running in minutes. Now, what's cool is that both of these are built on the same rock-solid Ubuntu base, but they're aimed at different people. Pop! OS is all about modern hardware and a smooth, polished look, especially if you have an NVIDIA card. Linux Mint, on the other hand, is crazy efficient. It uses barely any resources, which makes it perfect for bringing an older PC back to life, or if you just want a desktop that feels familiar, kind of like Windows. Okay, let's switch gears. Path number 2 is for those of you who want the absolute latest and greatest software. The people who love to tinker and squeeze every last frame out of their hardware. This is the enthusiast's corner. And when we say enthusiast, we are not kidding. Garuda Linux is like a custom-built, high-octane racing car. It's flashy, it has that gamer look down, and it comes packed with so many tools out of the box that you can go from a blank hard drive to a fully loaded gaming rig in like 15 minutes. It's wild. And this really gets to the heart of what makes Garuda special. It gives you bleeding-edge speed, but with a safety net. It uses things like the Zen Kernel to make your games feel super responsive, but the real magic trick is the BTRFS snapshots. Think of it like a quick save for your entire computer. If an update ever breaks something, you can literally rewind your whole system to a working state in a couple of clicks. All the performance, none of the fear. So if Garuda gives you every tool under the sun, Nobara is more of a curated, expert-tuned experience. It's built on the very modern Fedora base, and it's maintained by a legend in the community known as Glorious Eggroll. This means you get a ton of game-specific fixes and performance patches applied for you right from the start. It's powerful, but also really focused. And that brings us to our final path, which is all about gaming on the big screen or on the go. You know, with the explosion of handhelds like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, we're seeing this whole new breed of OS designed to be used with a controller from your couch. And as you can see, it really just boils down to your hardware. SteamOS is the official, super polished experience made by Valve specifically for their Steam Deck. It's fantastic. Bazzite, on the other hand, takes that same amazing controller-friendly interface and makes it work on almost everything else. Other handhelds, living room PCs, even desktops with NVIDIA cards. It's the Steam Deck experience, but for everybody. Okay, that was a lot to cover, so let's bring it all home. We're going to ask 3 simple questions to help you pinpoint exactly which of these distros is the right one for you. First question, what do you care about more? If you just want to install your games and have everything work without any headaches, you belong on the stable path. Go with Pop! OS or Linux Mint. But if you love to get your hands dirty, tweak settings, and push for maximum performance, then the cutting-edge path with Garuda or Nobara is calling your name.
Next up, and this one's pretty important, what graphics card are you running? Team Green or Team Red? While things have gotten way better for everyone, NVIDIA users are still going to have a slightly easier time on distros that pack the drivers in for you, like Pop! OS and Nobara. If you're running AMD, you're golden. You'll have a fantastic experience out of the box on pretty much any modern distro.
And last question, where are you actually playing your games? If it's a traditional desktop with a mouse and keyboard, any of the distros we've talked about are going to be great. But if you're building a PC for your living room TV or you're using a handheld, then a controller-first distro like Bazzite is a no-brainer. It'll give you that slick, seamless console experience you're looking for.
And that's really the big takeaway here. The days of feeling like you had to make a bunch of sacrifices to game on Linux, those days are over. It's not about compromise anymore. It's about choice. It's about finding the exact right setup that fits your hardware, your style, and how you want to play. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. For years and years, people have been talking about the year of the Linux desktop, but with these handhelds pushing Linux gaming into the hands of so many new people, it makes you wonder, maybe the real story isn't about the desktop anymore. Maybe it's finally the year of the Linux gamepad. Pretty exciting stuff.